Hi, I'm Harry Buer, and I've developed a course called Sight Singing for Non-Musicians. This course is made up of a series of online videos that take you step by step through developing the skill of sight singing. Why is this course different than all other courses? There's certainly no shortage of sight singing courses available. If you search on YouTube, you'll find a lot of videos that claim to teach you about sight singing, but they all have one thing in common. They all assume that you're a knowledgeable musician before you start the course. These courses make the error of confusing the very different skills of sight singing and music reading. Let me illustrate. Suppose you decided to learn a new language. You could probably expect to spend years studying it, learning all about grammar, syntax, conjugation, and a bunch of other things. Eventually you'd know that language pretty well. But let's say that instead you were interested in singing in a language, or just reading it aloud. Would you have to learn all about the details and meaning of the language? Of course not. You'd learn about the sounds that the various letters make, and that's about all. You could probably do that in less than an hour. Sight singing is like learning to read a language out loud. You don't have to know the meaning of the music to make the sounds. There's very little that you have to know about music to make the right sounds. And the courses that tell you differently are demanding a lot of stuff that's unnecessary for sight singing. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a good idea to know as much about music as you can. It's just not necessary in order to learn sight singing. In fact, sometimes knowing a lot about music can get in the way of sight singing ability. Think for a moment about someone whose musical knowledge you really admire. Perhaps a choir director, professor, piano player. Imagine if you gave that person a sheet of music written for viola, which uses a different clef than most music. He would probably take one look at it and say, "Sorry, I don't read alto clef." Why would they be unable to sing this music? Because in traditional music training, you have to know what the notes are before you try to sing it. But when you think about it, why should you need to know the names of the notes in order to sing them? When you read a page in a book, it would be no obstacle if you didn't know the names of the letters. If instead of W, you called the letter double V, or even omega, you'd still be able to read just as well. The reason for knowing the names of letters or notes is to talk about them. You can sing or read just as well without that knowledge. What do you have to know to benefit from my course? Not much, really. If you can hear a note and sing the same note, you probably have all you need to start. You don't need to know anything about clefs or key signatures. You don't need to know anything about rhythm. You don't even need to know the names of the notes. To be perfectly honest, this course does leave out a portion of sight singing skill. We don't deal much with rhythm. The reason is this. Learning rhythm is a totally different skill than learning what notes to sing. Some people have played instruments and know all about rhythm. They don't need to be distracted by learning something they already know. Other people don't know anything about music and need to focus on one thing, learning how to sing the notes. They don't need to be distracted by learning two different fields at once. If this is you, we recommend that you go through the course and learn how to sing the right notes, and after that you can fill in your knowledge of rhythm. We teach you some simple rhythms at the beginning, and then use these simple rhythms throughout the course, so that you can focus on learning to sing the right notes. That's what you really want, isn't it? Actually, there are a few items of musical knowledge that you'll need eventually, and we teach you these as you need them. But the big benefit of this course is that we leave out all the things that you don't need, so you can make progress a whole lot faster. To get started on this exciting journey of learning to sing the right notes from the sheet music, go to the website at www.singthespots.com. There you'll be able to watch the first few videos for free to prove that everything I've said is true. If you like what you're learning, you can choose to gain access to the entire course. If you're a musician or someone who plays an instrument, you may want to look at this course as well. It will train your ear so that you can tell if you're playing the right notes. And no one can be considered a complete musician who doesn't have the ability of sight singing. Whether you're a musician or not, come, have a look. You won't be sorry.